Hi, aren't you tired of fighting the same battles to break free from addiction, from pain, or shame? Well, welcome to unpack, the 90 days journey of enabling newness. We're stepping into freedom by rooting out lies and sowing the truth, God's truth. Hey family, welcome back to this journey. Today we'll be talking about the fact that addiction is not a disease. Now, before you panic, just hear me out, right? We're not saying addiction isn't serious. We're not saying it does not destroy lives. In fact, it does. We're saying it's not some permanent condition that you're doomed to live with forever. You see, when we call addiction a disease, what we're doing is that we remove responsibility and we remove hope. What does that mean? If addiction is a disease like cancer or diabetes, then the addict becomes a patient, not a person. It sounds like, oh, I can't help myself, I'm sick, right? And that feels comforting at first, but it explains the struggle. It gives a name to it, and then some people just settle with it. But over time, it becomes a trap, because if you're always sick, then you always need medicine. You always need someone to fix you. You always need a reason why you fell again. And slowly, you may stop fighting. You start to believe that you cannot change. But what if I told you addiction is not a disease? It's a learned coping mechanism. It's a response to pain, to boredom, to shame, to trauma, to something you couldn't control. So you found something you could. But here's the good news. What is learned can be unlearned. What is built can be broken down. What started as survival doesn't have to stay your story. Now, don't get me wrong. Addiction rewires the brain. I've spoken about this. Science has proven this. It creates habits, cravings, and physical responses. But so does recovery, so does healing. Discipline can build new patterns, and the power of God, it can make all things new, including you. So I'm not saying this to shame anybody. I'm saying this to empower you, to remind you that you're not stuck. You're not diseased. You're not beyond hope. You're a person with choices. You're a person who can grow, and you're a person who can walk out of that trap. So maybe it's time to shift the narrative. Let's stop making addiction our identity and start taking responsibility, not in shame, but in power. You're not your past, you're not your cravings, and you don't need to wear a label forever just to prove that you're trying. Addiction is not a disease. It may be a wound, but wounds can heal. So let's keep healing, let's keep growing, and let's keep choosing newness over being stuck.